Jude was a very welcome surprise. He came out 7 pounds, 9 ounces. Everything was normal. At 6 to 9 months, I could tell that he wasn't meeting the goals that, pediatricians set for him. I'd say about 1.5, 2 was when I was determined that he needed some help. So there were several nights in a row where we would try to give him something to eat and he would throw it or get upset. And, I don't know if it's the smell, the texture, the color, what it was, but he just wasn't eating. He was officially diagnosed as autistic, and then with his eating disorder, which is a part of the autism, which is Pica. Basically what the eating disorder is the want to eat things that are not food. And then to also have serious food aversions, which is also just part of autism. Most autistic children have a hard time with their diet. Along with the diagnosis comes the help. I know a lot of people are afraid of the label, but with the label comes the help. I went to my pediatrician and she gave me a sample of PediaSure. So the next day I went and I bought a strawberry, a banana, and a vanilla. And it's been vanilla ever since. It was like a little light bulb went on. Some days I have to actually tell him no more. The second he wakes up, it's the first thing he expects in his hand. I've even been told by a doctor at the ER a couple years ago that when I told her about his diet, she's like, well, I'm surprised he's not malnourished. I'm like, it's because of his PediaSure. Other than that, he would either have to be fed via feeding tube or technically force feeding. And it's amazing that I don't have to worry about that. There's so much unknown in the journey of autism, and there's one for sure concrete thing that I have to count on. And some days when it's really rough, it means more than anything in the world. And the day I wrote that email to Abbott was, he went 3 days without drinking it. He wouldn't touch it. He wouldn't go near it. I was petrified. And I wasn't home. My husband sent me a shot of a PediaSure container upside down showing me that it was empty and wrote, Jude just drank one. And I literally, after crying about 10 or 15 minutes, that's when I sat down at the computer. I was like, I have to thank somebody. I don't know who made this, but they need to know. It literally is what keeps my child alive, and that's not an exaggeration. My beginning sentence of the email to Abbott was, I don't know if anyone will read this. Not only did I get back a response almost immediately, it was a true written response from a lady named Christy. One of the first things she said was, it's people like you that make us proud of what we do. And the pride that she took in her job came through. Anybody I've spoke with has nothing but the best to say about the company that they work for, Abbott. I would literally go up to every single one of them, shake their hand and say, what you do every day keeps my child alive. Because it's very real for us every day in this house. And it's very important. It's the most important thing that we purchase in this house. Jude is now 7 years old. He'll be 8 in July. And thanks to PediaSure, the one thing that he's right on track with is height, weight, development of eyes, hearing, everything like that. He's walking proof of what PediaSure does. And anybody who is a part of Abbott needs to see that as you're shipping it or selling it or whatever you do in the company, you don't get to see that. Just think back to this little guy. And every day we're thinking about what you do matters. So I hope that you do too.